Hi guys, so today we're going to be cutting and threading pipe. I'm going to do this demonstration in the lab for you. This is some thick wall pipe. As you can see, it's a lot thicker than the EMT than the thin wall pipe. Remember, this is our thin wall pipe. You can see the difference. This is a lot thicker. So this we are going to thread. This is our threading machine. Several different things about the threading machine. This can be tightened by going in counterclockwise. It's going to tighten your conduit in there. This as well can be tightened. As you can see in there, as I turn it, it loosens. I turn it this way, it tightens. So it's got teeth that sink into the conduit to keep it from moving while it's being threaded. So we're going to go ahead and load this conduit in the machine. So we put it through there, all the way through. We don't want it to stick out real far, just far enough where we can work with it. So we've got our tools here, our cutter, got our cutting wheel. We put it down on there, tighten it up, we can cut this. So we've got our threader and our reamer. And then over here you can see we got our oil dispenser to keep it lubed up. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna put it in pretty far. We're gonna put it in farther than we would if we were just using this end. I'm gonna set this down for a second. Okay, so as you can see, now we're gonna tighten the back up. Like to get it close there and come over to the front. Keep it in between the shoe and turn the wheel. So as you can see, it goes down to where all three. I like to hit it twice, sometimes 3 times there. Then I can come back here and I tighten this up a little tighter. Hit it once too. Now I know my conduit is in there. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I'm in forward. So we got off and reverse, right? So forward. Also make sure we have power. So right now we have our power diverted to our TV. Sorry we're getting all shaky here and crazy. Set you down for a second. Plug it in. We have power. Now, when we're cutting, you can see down here I got a foot feed. I push it, the machine moves. I let off of the foot switch, the machine does not move, it stops. So I push it, it moves. Okay, so I'm going to use this tool. I'm going to set it down on top. I'm going to start tightening here. As you can see, there are 2 little wheels here. See these 2 little wheels? You want the conduit right in between them. So I'm going to tighten this a whole bunch. Pull it so that wheel is touching my conduit. And then tighten it a whole bunch here. So I'm just spinning it to tighten it. Now that I'm close, I want to get in there and pull up on it and make sure that I'm getting that conduit right in between my wheels with that wheel on it. Perfect. So I'm going to get it just snug. I don't want it real tight. I just want that to be able to cut. So then as I push my foot feed, you're going to notice I'm just going to start holding pressure on this. So you can see how it's moving and making it tighter. While it's doing that, you can see how it's cutting the conduit inside of there. So I'm just going to hold it. I'm just holding pressure. I'm not turning hard or anything. I don't want to bust the tooth. I'm just holding pressure against it. As I do that, continue to cut. Got my foot on the foot feed. Cut it right off. Perfect. As you can see, when that cuts that, there's a lip in there. And we can't pull any wire with that lip. So then we're going to use the reamer. So we're going to put the reamer in here, and we got this nifty little thing that moves it forward and backwards. So we're going to use the reamer, keep it in forward, and we're just going to hold pressure against this. As we do that, just holding pressure. You don't want to push real hard because you don't want to egg it out. Just hold pressure, get a good ream. Then you can see we've got no edge there. Our conduit is reamed. It's ready for some good threads. So our next step is going to be threading our conduit now that we've got it cut and reamed. So our next step is using our threader. So we're going to put our threader down. Now we are using 3/4 inch conduit. So we are on 3/4. So it should hit just like that. It should not go over it because it's going to be in, the threads are going to be into the conduit. So that's what we want. So the first thing we're going to do before we start it is get our oil. Get our oil gun over here. We're going to get in here and we're going to put some oil on the conduit. See how we get in there? Then we're going to come back over here and we're going to start our threads. So as you can see, I'm just going to turn this bad boy again, and what it's going to do is it's going to cut into it. So you can see that. Now I can let go. So now I can let go of that and feed it some oil. And I go until this is about even with that. So I went a little too far there, but that's okay. Now, I get to use reverse. When I do this, I clean my threads out while I do it. So I put it in reverse, and I hold barely any pressure on this. That way it comes right back out. See how it cleans the threads. You don't need to oil it when you're doing this, because it's not doing any cutting. It's just holding pressure, see? Nothing, no, not pushing real hard, nothing. Just working itself back out. Once it works itself back out all the way, I don't rush it. Let it work its way out on its own. There it is. Flip this back up, and then I'm clear. Now, I like to leave it in there and take something like a rag and clean this off because I use the foot feed to do it. I push the foot feed, the pipe turns. I like to clean this off right here. Clean my edge. Done. Got some good threads. So the way we can check that is get a coupling. Usually they have them on the end like this does. That's a factory thread right there. And we got a coupling. We're going to take our coupling over here and we're going to try to thread it onto our threads that we just made and see what happens. So as you can see, it threads right on there. Golden. That's cutting and threading. We will also do a live demonstration in class. So after you finish up, you want to take this and hit it left. As you can see, it loosens that up. Come to the back. I always put it under my armpit and then loosen it up here. I go in the other way and then I can grab a hold of it, pull it out. And I have my threads. So we can thread that all the way on there. As you can see, take it back off. Works very good. All right, guys, that's your lesson on cutting and threading using a machine.